Welcome to Pre, or otherwise known as Patty Reviews Everything, where I just get to review stuff that I like. And I just got back watching the Detective Pikachu movie. Well, I didn't just get back. I watched it last night, but I was underneath the weather, so I was like, I'm gonna sleep on it. Let me think about some thoughts, and then I'll record it. You guys know who I am, or if there's anyone new that watches this, because for whatever reason, let's say the algorithm like pushes this video really hard. I'm a PokeTuber. I love Pokemon. I make my entire content on YouTube around Pokemon-based things. So obviously when I heard Detective Pikachu was coming out, I thought it was a really good opportunity for that movie to bring in old fans or to bring in new people, or just because it's a film, it's a different form of art. And like the Pokemon fan side of me was very excited. I was like, ooh, yes, video game movie. Ugh. But like I'm into it. But the movie side of me, if you guys don't know, I studied in film, and I was like, I saw some red flags in the trailers, and I watched it, and I don't know, I'm gonna talk about it. We'll talk about the things I like, things I didn't like, things. I'm gonna keep this spoiler free, of course. So this is a spoiler free review. Don't worry about it. So if you guys are excited, please show your support. Smash the like button, which I really appreciate. Then check out links in the description down below. But anyways, things I liked. I liked all the nods and, you know, like kind of Easter eggs that were in this film, and they weren't Easter eggs there like it was like apparent to the film. Like the film has its own plot and has its own story going on and has everything going, but obviously like Pokemon is so like rich with like lore and like everything like that, that when it's like a universe around that has Pokemon in it, obviously there's gonna be like Pokemon related things, and you can like, as a fan, you could see them, point them out. You know, you could nod your head and appreciate like what they're going for. Another thing this movie did really well, it makes me wish that Pokemon was real. I remember being a kid playing Pokemon, and like that was like the most thing I wanted like ever. I was like, dude, I wish like Pokemon were real in like real life. You know, I think it'd be so sick to live in a world like that, you know. But like obviously they're not, and I cry every time. But like that movie did a really good job of like, I don't know, just showing like the environment of how Pokemon would be, because it wasn't just like the first 151. It was like all the way up to Gen 7. You know, like there was Gen 7 Mons in this movie, which was cool. And they did that well. They did that very well. The CGI for the most part was done really well. Like Pikachu, like Detective Pikachu himself, the CGI for that was really good. Minus there's like some awkward moments in CGI, like they try to hold the CGI thing, and the way that they're holding it doesn't really make sense to support the weight, and I'm just like, okay, like it gets iffy like that, because you're like trying to hold it, like you're like acting and holding nothing, so your arms don't look like they're actually strained. Like one of the characters is holding like a Pokemon like this, but the Pokemon's like heavy, so it's like you would hold it more like this for like support. I don't know. It's little things like that. Other than that, like the movie has some comedy in it, and like I know this movie isn't catered for me, so like I'm not like the main audience that this movie is for. This movie is more for younger kids. Like we're talking like 5 to, or like 4 to like 16. Like I think that's their like targeted audience, you know. And you know, I can accept the fact that I'm not in the demographic. Like that's totally fine. So like yeah, there's some jokes, there's some things that happen that like definitely caters to a younger audience, and I'm not gonna knock it down for that, because it's a Pokemon movie. Like it's a kid's game, it's a kid's franchise. I'm just fucking weird, and I still play it in my mid-20s, I guess, and make content on my channel that you all should check out. I don't know, but yeah, so I don't know. Either that, there's not really too much to ultimately like about this film. I don't know. Like it's not the best film. Like for a kid's standpoint, it'll be a good movie. There's a lot of flashy things going on. Obviously, there's a lot of like, especially if like a kid is into Pokemon, he'd be like, wow, Charizard, wow, fucking Pikachu, wow, that, you know, like it's cool for the kid to kind of put his brain together and like start shifting gears and like understanding what's in the movie. That's fine. But like the movie is a plot that we've seen before, and I just like, I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler free, of course. So like, this is like always the hardest part, talking about things that you dislike, because when you dislike something, you have to go in like more greater depth, because people on the internet want to contest you on why you feel that way. So the plot is something we've seen before, which isn't like inherently bad, because there's a bunch of movies that have like the similar plots. Like, we get it. It's just something happens. They go on a detective chase to get it. You know, he can understand the Pikachu, so like they have like little bits of like, can you understand them? No. Okay. They get to this part where they're like trying to solve this case of what's happening, which I mean, I think what they're solving isn't spoiler because it was in the trailer, but I'll just keep it as it is. And one of the characters expositions like what's happening, but it's like super convenient. Like the way that the exposition goes to explain the character of what's happening and also explaining the viewers at the same time. That exposition is so insanely, it's like one of the most convenient things I've seen in a while. Like, it's just bad writing. That's just what it comes down to, is super convenience. Like, convenient is convenient for convenience. Like, it's just like when I saw that, I was like, oh buddy, you know, it was just super convenient. And then like they did it not once, they did it like twice. Like they get to another place where they like need to find out what's going on, and then they kind of get the same exposition. Like it's like a, I can't say what it is 'cause it's a spoiler, but there's like a thing that gives the exposition, and that thing is there again. They use it, and then they like figure out more of what's going on. And I'm just like, God, that's so, you're so fucking lucky that exists, because that wasn't the case, y'all wouldn't have done anything, you know. There's also another part where it's like, it's cool, like it looks cool. I mean, the idea looks cool, the CGI doesn't look cool because there's a lot going on. Like there's a lot of times where it looks pretty blurry or hazy because there's a lot of fucking things moving. You're trying to CGI like real life characters into it. So like, I get it. But like, there's this thing that happens, this crazy catalyst, like towards the end of the second part, and then like the last act, the second act and the last act. There's like a part towards the end of the second act where this thing happens. All this crazy shit goes down. And then it like reverts like nothing happened at all. Like this entire thing goes down, and then like when it's done, it's like, and back to normal. And it's like, what? It just threw me off. I was like, then what was the fucking point of that? What was the point of that whole thing to happen? I mean, like, I know why it happened, because then something happens where then they have to go and like the way it got, like, there's just so many bad setups in this film. It's just bad writing. It's just what it comes down to. It's just bad writing. Like, because I don't think the acting was bad. I think what's his last name? Something Smith. I forget his name right now. Justin Smith, is that his name? And like Ryan Reynolds, and then like I think most people played like a fine role. Like, you know, like I thought the acting was fine. I don't think it's necessarily on the actors. Like, it's not, I don't think it's their fault, you know. I don't think it's their fault on like why the movie kind of was set up the way it was. I just think the writing, the directing was not good, and it just, I don't know. And then they try to do this whole twist thing, which I get at the end, but it was like the entire time they were purposely like hiding it, and it was like, well, obviously that's gonna have significance at the end of why they keep purposely hiding like a key factor to like this case that they're trying to solve. And just like, I don't know, like, it's a fun film for kids. Like, you know, kids aren't gonna look at that and see it. Like the thing where I talked about where something happens and it goes back to normal, the thing that's happening is like a lot. There's a lot going down into a kid that's like, whoa, oh my god, like it's intense or something, you know. But for me, I just can't. It's just I don't know. Like, should Pokemon fans go see this movie? It depends how much you're into Pokemon, I guess. Like, I wasn't like insanely disappointed, but the movie was just kind of meh. It was like, you know, you're gonna forget in T-minus like 2 days or whatever. Like one of those Jeremy John references. You guys don't watch movie critics. Like, let's say I'm your only movie critic. You want to watch someone else? Watch Jeremy John. That guy's amazing. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Fuck it. Yeah, it's just it's a weird film. You know, I don't know. I give this movie like maybe like a 6 to 7. It's an film. You know, it's a lot going on. I think the movie's only like an hour and a half or something like that, but it felt longer. Actually, which I don't think helps. You know, I mean, that's a pacing issue at that point. But yeah, let me guys know what you thought. If you guys seen the movie, I would like to talk about it in the comment section down below. Like, obviously, that's spoiler territory then, so if people haven't seen it, maybe be a little shy with the comments. But yeah, I would like to go into an in-depth spoiler review if you guys want to talk about that, or maybe I'll talk about it live on Twitch or something like that. I appreciate you guys like always. I'm gonna get the fuck out of you guys with PattyTrills. Like I said, definitely check on links description down below. Twitter, Twitch, merchandise. If you're into that, appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get the fuck out of you guys with PattyTrills. I'm out. Ayaga. Oh yeah, also Alakazam, like my entire favorite line, like Abracadabra Alakazam's just not in this film. I'm just gonna. That alone, no Malcombi, no Kecleon, not, 0 out of 10. It's not that good.